One more block on our Halloween quilt. This one is called Broken Dishes, and this is the picture. And if you look at my quilt, I actually made a mistake when I created this block and put it in this quilt. This is the block that I made, and it actually is 1/4 of the real block. And it could be that that's how blocks got their names changed and got different names and like that. So today I'm going to show you how to sew the traditional Broken Dishes quilt block together. Hi, this is Penny Hallgren from quiltblocklibrary.tv and quiltblocklibrary.com. And I'm going to show you a different way to sew half-square triangles together. This will make it a lot quicker and more accurate. So I've got my fabric cut and marked, and I'm ready to sew. So let's go to the sewing machine. This is the block, and it's all just half-square triangles placed in that position. And what I've done is taken 2 strips of fabric, just 2 different colors. I've got a gray one and this patterned one. And I've marked my half-square triangles. The first thing I did was draw a line on the cutting where I would be cutting, and then I drew lines 1/4 of an inch on either side, and those would be sewing lines. And then the line perpendicular to the fabric, so I'll be cutting in between and then in between to make the half-square triangles. So what I'm going to do is sew down just on the stitching lines, and I can do this, I will connect it in between here and then just make the zigzag that way. Now these are all sewn, and I've sewn on both sides of the cutting line, and so I'm going to take them over to my rotary cutter and cut them that way. However, right here I'm just going to cut to show you the way I'm going to cut them apart. So you just cut between these 2 lines, and then you'll cut right down the center. And then when you open it up, you have half-square triangles. So I'll just go ahead and cut the rest of these with my rotary cutter and lay them out on the flannel board the way they need to be sewn together. Now all my half-square triangles are sewn together, and I've got them laid out the way they need to be for my block. So I'm just going to fold them over and sew the columns together. So I'll sew these 2 columns and these 2. Now that the columns are all sewn together, I'm just going to take these and flip them over and sew this together, and then we'll be ready to sew the rows together. Now we're ready to start sewing the rows together, so I'll just take the top row and fold it down and then stitch the seam. Now I've got the top 2 rows sewn together. I'm going to sew this row onto that. And now for the final row, just to sew this onto the bottom. Just fold that up and stitch the seam. This Broken Dishes quilt block is all finished and ready for the quilt. And you can see it's very different from the purple Broken Dishes quilt block that's included in the Halloween quilt behind me. Thanks for joining me. This is Penny Hallgren from quiltblocklibrary.com and quiltblocklibrary.tv. If you're interested in getting the pattern for all of the blocks for the Halloween quilt and the videos as well, you can head on over to quiltblocklibrary.com and register and purchase the pattern. Thanks again. Until next time, this is Penny Hallgren. Peaceful piecing.